Hi class, welcome back to our channel. In this episode, let's create our second PHP project, sample registration page. We will be implementing yung napag-aralan natin ng nakaraan, which is the form and form validation. Alright, let's begin. As usual, let's create the UI first para malaman natin kung anong itsura ng ating gagawin. Let's create a main container first. And sa loob ng container na to, dun ko ilalagay ang aking form. Lagay natin dito si server and PHP self. Yan. Ang ating method for this project would be a get. Isin natin. Alright. And let's add a simple text with the name of username. And then let's add password with the name of password and placeholder of password. Ano nangyari doon? Input type text username. And then let's add an email. Email placeholder is also email. And an input of type URL. URL. Now website. Copy na lang natin. Placeholder of website. And lastly, huwag natin kalimutan ang ating submit. Let's add some break tags here. Okay, we have our own break tags. And let's see how this looks like. Localhost. Registration. Yan. So, lagyan natin to ng name na submit. Name is submit. Medyo palakayin natin ng konti. Alright, so ito yung ating basic form. Lagyan naman natin siya ng konting styling para naman gumanda-ganda. So, let's start by defining a CSS reset, margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing, border box. Okay. Now, I will define here our main color kasi gagamitin natin ito mamaya. Paulit-ulit. So, D538 67. This is some sort of orange color. And then input type is not type submit. So I selected all our input excepting for submit for padding 10 pixel with 100% and margin bottom para may separation sila 20 pixel. See, masyadong malaki. So, the reason why we added this main controller is because lalagyan ko to ng width na 350 pixel. Okay. So, looks good. Balik natin sa 100. Then, yung submit button na lang, lagyan natin to ng class button. Okay, yung submit button, let's add some styling. So, padding 10 and border radius 10 pixel. Outline none, pero border 1 pixel solid gray. Tingnan natin, although medyo maliit, no? So lagyan natin siya ng width na 100 pixel and let's add a background. Tapos gagamitin natin dito yung ating main color. And then since naiba yung color, yung background color, let's add color. Okay, perfect. Now, I'll add some text transform, uppercase, and then para maging clickable, magmukhang clickable, cursor pointer. And weight 600. Tingnan natin ang effect. So yan, medyo okay na. Okay. So, meron na tayong input, button, and your main container. Ayusin natin ano. So, para makita natin ang ating main container, lagyan ko ng konting background. Yan. Then, let's do a padding. 60 pixel top, 20 pixel right, 20 pixel bottom. Ngayon, bakit 60 pixel sa taas? Kasi lalagyan ko dito ng ating header later on. Okay? So, border radius of 10 pixel para mukha siyang yan, hindi naman siya masyadong sharp, maging siyang rounded corners. So again, sabi ko nga lalagyan natin ng header. So let's do that next. So div.header and h2 PHP. So nandito siya, no? What we want is to have this portion mapunta siya dito, PHP. Mapunta siya doon. So, paano gagawin yon? Let's copy this first. And then, position tayo ng absolute, left, 0, top 0, then width, 100%. Okay, tingnan natin. Since position absolute yung header, yung parent niya, kailangan ay position relative. Yan natin itsura. Okay, nandun na siya. Now, let's do a padding of 10 pixel and baguhin natin yung background. Gamitin natin yung background na ginamit natin sa button. Tapos since ganun nga, pati yung color gawin natin white para makita siya. Alright. Ngayon, medyo sharp yung edge na yun, ano? Dito kasi rounded. Pero yun, biglang naging sharp kasi natabunan niya. So, let's do a border radius. 10 pixel left, 10 pixel right, 0, 0. Natin. Okay. Okay, ayun. Makita natin, rounded na yung corners. So, ayan. Medyo okay na siya. Now, what I want to do next is to place this form in the middle of the screen. Maraming way paano gawin yon, pero one thing na pinakamadali is to see the parent. Ang parent ng ating main controller is yung body na mismo, no? So that's why I'll add that styling here sa body. I'll do display grid, then place content center natin. Okay, but nandito lang, dapat nandito sa gitna. Kasi kailangan nating lagyan ng height. Kailangan nating 100 BH. Yan, perfect. Nandito na. O, pwede na tayong tumigil sa UI, pero let's add a little bit more styling. So I'm gonna go to a website called Hikey. Then I'm gonna select wave and ano tayo ng layered waves siguro. Tapos let's generate something. Ayan, okay na siguro yan. Then download. Okay. So let's add it here. Image. Okay. Andun na siya. Layered waves. So let's bring this SVG into our style. So let's do a background image, URL, image, layered waves. Kunin na lang natin layered waves, SVG. Then background repeat, no repeat, background size, background size, cover. Let's close this. Tignan natin. Yon. So okay na siya. Then let's do a little bit of animation. Animation, rotate, 6 seconds, infinite, alternate, linear. Okay. So para sa yan, let's see kung para sa yan. Kailangan ko munang mag-add ng keyframes, rotate. No? Kasi rotate yung nilagay ko doon, kaya rotate. So at 100% daw, I'll just shift the background position to 15% and about 50%. Okay, let's see. Refresh. So, yan. Very nice, no? Parang nagkaroon ng waves yung ating registration screen. Okay, so, alright. Tama na siguro yung styling. Tingin ko maganda na ng kahit papano. Let's do our PHP next. Sa form, when we submit here, mapupunta dito sa index, no? So, let's add our PHP somewhere here para malapit. Usually sa taas, pero dito ko na lang ilalagay para magkatabi yung form na to and yung PHP code natin. So, the first thing is to guard against processing at first load of screen. So, actually, gawin kong post to kasi ayokong magkaroon ng laman dito, no? So, okay. Test natin. Okay. Ayan. So, if I submit, Yun, walang lumalabas na sa URL. Meron na nito. Let's do our form validation and sanitation. Ganyan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kukuha muna ako dito ng username and 2, 3, 4. Password, email, and URL. Representing yung ating apat na form. So let's do apat na input. So let's do our form sanitation first. HTML special cars natin, post, username, no? So tatanggalin natin yung mga special characters para hindi sila makapag-insert ng JavaScript. Now, password, wala tayong gagawin sa password. Kasi usually, password is hashed. So, mas complicated, mas better. Kung gusto nila na JavaScript yung kanilang password ay walang problema. Okay. So, email would be filter bar. Tapos, lagay natin dito, i-post, email, ano? Filter, sanitize, email. Next would be the URL. So, post URL, filter, sanitize, URL. URL ba ginamit ko? Website. Okay? So, sanitizing email and then sanitizing URL. Now, class, minsan, when our user types in something like this, minsan, naglalagay sila ng spaces, no? Trailing spaces or leading spaces. So, ayaw nating i-process yan. Gusto lang nating i-process yung mismong characters. So, let's trim them by stripping the leading and trailing space. So, paano? Ganito. Copy ko na muna to. So, let's trim. Then, yan. So, tatanggalin lang naman ito yung mga space before and after. Password, email, then URL. Now, in our example, I want the username and the password to be required. So, let's do our validation now. So, first is test for required. So, if not username, kung walang laman si username, using true-t and falsy, no? Let's create an error. And in our event, in any case, in our example, let's create an error message. And lagay natin dito, username, tapos wala munang laman. So, 2, 3, 4, password, email, and URL. So, gumawa ako ng array, associative array. Ang keys would be our input, and wala muna siyang laman. So, ang intention ko dito is to create something like this. Error, username, and then I'll add a class here, a string error. Bakit ko nilagay ito? Kasi in our website, in our style, gagawa ako ng ganito. Error, background, color, ivory, border na, outline, 1 pixel, solid red. So, i-test nga muna natin. So, kunyari, nagka-error tong username, no? So, lagyan ko ng class. Error. Anong kanya magiging itsura? Meron tayo online 101. Bakit? Kulang na naman nun. Okay, ayan ang nangyari sa kanya. Bakit siya ay hindi nagkaroon ng kasi dapat solid. Yun. So, ganito ang itsura ng error. So, ang gagawin natin, tanggalin muna natin to. So, test for required. If username walang nakita, maglalagay tayo dito ng error, username. Tapos if password walang laman, password, lalagyan din natin ng error. So, let's test this now. So, I'll submit username and password. So, instead na lalagyan ito class, error, then lalagay natin dito si username. So, kapag may error, it will output yung class na error, string na error, which happens to have a class of error. Pero, kapag walang laman, walang error, blank space lang. So, gawin natin dito. Ilagay din natin kay password, no? Okay. Let's see. Submit. At ano nangyari dyan? Undefined filter bar. So, filter bar. Okay, ayan. Lumabas na. So, may error na si username and password kasi siya ay required. Right? So, i-validate naman natin yung dalawa. Validation. So, if email, kung may laman yung email is dapat na-sanitize na natin yung email at this point. So, ang gagawin naman natin, we will now validate filter, validate email. So, kapag false ang laman, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pumasa sa validation. Then, I am going to add an error to the email here. And we'll go for URL, no? So, kung natin to, here, filter, validate, URL. Tapos, let's add URL. So, website. Okay? Yan. So, let's try to add something. Before, email. Okay, submit. Yun. If there's no error, let's add pala an H2 here. Let's say registration form. Para naman maganda-ganda siyang tingnan. Right? So, lagyan natin si form ng margin top 20 pixel. Yan, okay? So, maybe 10 pixel lang. If there's no error and pasado siya sa lahat, maglalagay tayo dito ng test. So, if no error, paano natin ite-test kung may error o wala? So, we can look at the array here, no? So, kung error is present on any one of these, then we can say na may error. So, let's do array search. Array search will search for values inside an array. Search for error inside our error variable. And if wala siyang nakitang error, then let's just do a header. And what's a header again? It will redirect to our location. Location home.php. Okay? So let's try. Walang username, walang password. Okay, pag walang username or walang password, hindi siya mag-redirect. Pero kung may username at may password at submit, okay, mapupunta tayo sa homepage. Balik muna tayo. So again, since this is a form, kailangan nating i-preserve. So for example, may username pero walang password, kita natin nagbablank, no? So ang maganda, ilagay natin yung values nito. Value, ano yung ating variable? Username. So let's do this for password and let's do this for email and our URL. Email, URL. Email, then URL. Okay. So let's try a password, submit, and dun. Hindi pala natin dapat i-preserve si password, no? So, naglagay tayo ng username pero walang password, pero may email and website, submit. Nag-error yung password pero na-preserve yung ibang fields. Okay, let's test. Maglagay tayo ng username, an email, abc yahoo, and the website, submit. Pero walang password, pero makikita nyo na na-preserve yung mga values. So, let's add password and submit. So, tama na siya. So, in this lecture, we created a registration page and it has 4 elements na input, username, password, email, and website. Then, we added some validation. First, form sanitation and then testing for required. I introduced also yung trim. And then we moved on to validation. So, I hope na demonstrate ko kung paano ang usual na paggawa ng mga form na ganito. Okay, class, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching and see you on the next episode.